Good afternoon, friends. Uh, Thursday. Boom. And we're doing the bowling alley lap steel. We have to relaminate today because it was full of these guys. One of them actually went through or made contact with the mill. Long story short, I got Sherry this old antique table saw, like a 7-inch or something, with a planer on it. What that was for is back in the old days when you had a house that you were working on, the lumber was actually 2x4. And most of it was yellow pine. The shit we got nowadays is a white pine, soft, burns real fast if you got a house fire. Congratulations. But the yellow pine was a harder wood, and it was actually 2x4, not 1.5 by 2.5, whatever the measurements are, somewhere close there. Now it's all metric, because all the machinery they use is, made in other places. And I like the metric system. I'm a big fan. I wish we would have went to that a long, long time ago. But regardless of all that, hopefully I didn't damage the blade. It's an old machine, but it does work. And I tried to plane it down, and you can see that actually right there, that's where it caught that nail. So I sure hope I didn't damage her blade. But I'm going to relaminate this today. But I think first I deserve a drink. It's been a long week. Not saying that I don't like my FRA guy. He's a great dude. But today was like rain, and I don't have my work truck. I had to steal a telecom truck. And I'm standing out there in rain, and of course this switch, the foreman's there working in a puddle of water. So I take my boot and I drag the mud. And this isn't regular old mud. This is like coal, graphite lubricant, and oil, and just all the worst stuff mixed in this mud, and it's terrible. Well, I didn't think none of that. I just dragged it through. I said, I'll just have to take my boots off before I go in the house tonight, So I took my boots off. Well, I was not thinking about my pants, and my pants are dragging the ground. I walk in the bedroom, and I turn around, and there's these black marks. Not saying our carpet's perfect, but holy mackerel, what a mess. So I get the bottle, and I'm spraying, and cleaning it up because it was bad. And I'm spraying these lines up and getting them done, and getting everything cleaned up. And then the phone rings. This was the guy up north. One of the guys up north wanted to kind of brief with me about what we were doing tomorrow. So I'm walking in there, and I step on some wet carpet, and then I step on the hardwood floor and slip. Just about fell and busted my ass. That's just the kind of day it's been. So, moving on. I thought I deserved it. I really did. This is just a Monday week. And I had my choice. You probably can't read it because it's been in the freezer, but that's mint chip Stillhouse. But look what I found. Original whiskey Stillhouse. Now, it's on a black label. I thought that was a bourbon, but I think it's just regular white corn whiskey. So I'm going to... Yeah, that's just white corn whiskey. Here, you can see it. That's the good stuff. It's thick, though. It's like syrup. I don't know. Did we dump enough in there? We should dump some more. Oh, yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. This is going to bring my blood pressure down for sure. Yes, I went to the store today, and I bought Pepsi. Sherry's been buying all the non-sugary stuff, and I know she's just looking out for me, but... Oh, man's got to have what a man's got to have. And this is the least of my vices, so... Or the worst of my vices, I guess. I should rephrase that. This is the worst of my vices. So that can't be too awful bad, right? It's cheaper than driving a race car. That's all I got to say. It's one of these days. One of these days. That's been given a struggle, too. It's a Monday project, too. Every part I buy, I go to put it on, and it won't fit, and I have to buy another. Okay. So... I don't know where this came from. Looks like the cheapest one on the planet. I think it slides this way. I might have to get a knife. I put all my tools up. That's what happens when you start organizing. You lose all your shit. Hang on. Okay. That wasn't too bad. I don't know if it's going to be a large bead or a small bead. But we got to have some enough to go out of here. It's kind of a tongue and groove kind of situation. And when I put them together, I don't want them squeezing up through the top because this is like liquid nails, super industrial strength. And if it squeezes up through the top, I may not get it off. I've got some brake clean at the ready, so we'll see what happens. I got to figure this stupid thing out though. There's got to be a lock release on it somewhere. Guess not. Okay. Here we go. All right. That's not too awful hard, is it? So you're ready to put that back in place. Okay, there we go. All right. So if you're watching that thread on the Kinsiders forum on me trying to get the YouTube links done up right, you got to click on the links because I think it's funny as hell when you start going through the progression of links, starting at the top of the thread. It actually turned out pretty humorous. You can laugh at my loss, my failure. Eventually I'll figure it out, but see, Jefe Fix, no problem. Anyway, we're going to start putting this together, and we'll see how it starts to turn out. And you can see part of the process. I'm not going to put it above the groove because I don't want that squeezing out the top. If it squeezes out the bottom, that's fine. I'll just mill it off, but I don't want to be milling on this finish. I think I'm going to put another coat of polyurethane on top of it. And I'm going to do this in 2 sections. These short guys will get done first, and then I'll do the long boards, and we'll get a good start on it. I hope everybody's had a good week. It's been pretty rainy here. I had some swamp ass today, but at least it wasn't the type that's created by 90% humidity. It was 100% humidity, about 65 degrees, so I was happy. I love the summer rain. It's amazing. Makes me feel springy, but it's not spring. Definitely not spring. We are actually going camping this weekend. Well, one day. Sherry's got to work tomorrow night, so we figured by the time we get to the campsite, it'll end up being midnight if we leave Friday, or thereabout. And if we do that, then we're going to end up paying for a night of camping that we're really not going to enjoy. It's just going to be get there, set up the camper, and go to bed. I don't know about you all, but my bedtime has changed over the years. I'm closer to 10 o'clock now, 10:30. Especially if I'm drinking. Oh, I see my phone. Brother Brian's calling. There's your brother Brian. Giving you step-by-step instructions on what I'm doing to my truck. Still love Brother Brian. We went to get these bowling alley panels. He went with me. I was like, hey, you want to go with me? You need these for anything? He's like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, yeah. So he goes with me, and we load this rollback. We're, I don't know, somewhere around 12 feet high. And I was like, just be careful, because, even though we're only 5,000 pounds of load on there, it's top heavy, it's wobbly, and it's been raining, and I got it ratcheted down, but that load wanted to shift. And we come around a corner, and that whole load shifted and slid, and it was off the bed by 4 or 6 inches. And I was like, oh, shit. And he's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I said, you're supposed to be looking at the fucking load. This sumbitch is coming off of the truck. So I got pulled over, and we tightened the ratchet straps and shoved it over. I was like, should I take the interstate? Yeah, take the interstate. That's the quickest way. I was like, I know, but man, I don't want to have any run-ins. So we're going down the road, and all of a sudden, here's a highway patrolman sitting in the highway. I'm like, God bless it, here we go. But he didn't take any concern with us, so thank goodness. But I'll do anything for Brian. I might rag on him every once in a while, just because he calls every 6 minutes. I still love him. All right, let's see how the drink's at. This is just my corn whiskey. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. Okay, let's take this guy. Everything seems okay. I'll just mill it on the bottom. It still moves around a little bit. Let me get it level. I don't have a straight edge, but that feels pretty good. I don't want to have to touch the top if I can get away with it. Now time for these jokers. And I marked them. This one's as a let's say tuning. I put tuning across the top, so the T's up here, and then I don't know, I guess nothing on the bottom. I got some marks for my bridge. But if you didn't look at the picture close, it's a tunable bridge. I have never used a tunable bridge, but if you have, put a post or let me know. And I just want to say that I'm real curious to know how it's going to work out. I saw a guy from Michigan was down here playing a gig, and he had a Les Paul with a tunable bridge on it. And he was, he'd reached down there on the bridge, and I was like, what the hell's he doing? And I went up and looked, and I asked him about it. He's like, oh, this is a tunable bridge. I'd never seen one before. I said, I really like that. I'm going to have to check that out. So I got me a tunable bridge. We'll see how it works. It was only, I don't know, $30 maybe. So it was very affordable. And we'll put it on here and see how I like it. And I got the switch and everything for the pickups, but I kind of wanted a push button deal. I used to have, well, my grandpa used to have at his house in his toy box when we were kids. I think he had it was a toy organ maybe, and it was almost like a what do they call those things that auto harp, and it has the buttons on them. But these buttons, there was you got 3 of them there, and you click it, and when you push the button down, the one that's already down pops up, and then that one clicks into spot, clicks down and stays down. And I would like to have one of those where there's 3 and I just hit the button rather than flipping the switch. But who knows? We'll just have to see. We'll see how it turns out. I need to get the frame all glued together and mill it down a little bit more, depending. I don't know. It looks about 3/4 of an inch, I guess. So that may be enough. I don't know. But I also have to hog out everything for the pickups and the potentiometers and get all that stuff set into place. So there's a lot of mill work to do. There's a lot of drinking to do too. That is good whiskey. I do love that stuff. All right, so I'm going to finish stacking this together. But this is how it's going. Just 5 or 6 of these guys, and down the line with some liquid nails, and then give it 3 or 4 days to set up good and hard, and then take it back to the planer and mill it down a little further, and then start hogging out. I have like a Dremel tool. I don't think I have a plunge router. I'm not a woodworker by any means, but I know people who do. So we'll figure out how that's going to unfold, and I'll probably get back with you when I start hogging material out and making pockets for all the good stuff. If not, then you'll get to see the after effects of the milling, but I won't put it together until I make another video or take some more pictures. So have a killer week. Tomorrow's Friday. Make the best of it. Love y'all. See ya.